Hey, welcome back to the Wrestle Vlogs, your place for your wrestling news. First up, if you're a fan of Impact Wrestling, they have announced their upcoming live taping dates for their upcoming, shows. So Thursday, March 2nd through Sunday, March 5th, Thursday, April 20th through Sunday, April 23rd, Sunday, July 2nd through Thursday, July 6th, and Thursday, August 17th through Sunday, August 20th. Those are the dates. So get out there and get your tickets for the shows. Go watch them if you're really into it. Hopefully, with these new owners, these tapings will keep going. They'll be scheduled. The scheduled tapings won't be canceled or anything. Hopefully, and hopefully TNA will become be able to get back to being a respectable brand that people really enjoy watching. Over the last few years, it seems like Dixie Carter has run that poor wrestling company into the ground. Even with all the talent that they've had throughout the last 5 or 6 years, they still have been just not been able to keep the business running very well. So hopefully the new ownership will allow them to do well. Then bringing Jeff Jarrett back into the mix a little bit, I think that'll be good for the fans. I think the fans will enjoy that. But in the end, if you get a chance to go watch these events, there's your dates. Um, and I hope you have a great time if you go. Moving on to the next story. Brock Lesnar has officially retired from the UFC and mixed martial arts in general. Apparently, according to many rumors, it's because of the he's looking at this 1 year suspension. Two, he's got the fact that in the WWE as a part timer, he's not required to submit to drug testing, and so he'd get away with whatever he was busted for in the UFC against Mark Hunt. And then there's the fact that he makes way more throughout a course of a year wrestling for just the WWE than you would through the course of two or three, real fights at the UFC. I think the way I see it, I think it's because of the money. I think it's because he's older, and by the time he's able to get back to the UFC, it'd be another year out. And I'm not saying he wouldn't be able to do it, but for his family and everything, the money he makes from WWE, there really doesn't make any sense for him to keep doing the UFC anyway. Personally, I would love to see Brock Lesnar back on TV, but from what I've read over at the Wrestling Observer, this is not going to happen just because of this retiring from the UFC. According to them, um, don't expect any more dates. Don't expect any more television dates than normal, and don't expect any more live, WWE live events than what he sporadically does. I think it'd be great for the WWE if they could get him in a more full-time type thing, at least, once a month, twice a month maybe. Just something where he comes out and beats people up, starts on, where he shows up to at least every one of the Raw pay-per-views. I think that would be awesome. It put butts in the seats. I know I'd want to watch more often. And of course, part of that is because I'm a big Paul Heyman guy. I love how Paul Heyman, cuts his promos in the ring, and without Brock Lesnar there, Paul Heyman's hardly ever on the show. And so that said, Brock Lesnar has retired from the UFC. I'm sad to see him go, even though he's had his issues. He had a good run up until this last little match, or this last getting busted thing in his match with Mark Hunt. But he was he was a champion in the UFC at one point without being, popped for drug testing. So um, I wish him well, and I hope he does well in the WWE, and I hope he keeps wrestling in the WWE for a good long time. And last but not least, the latest word from backstage is that Shane McMahon and AJ Styles is still a thing for WrestleMania 33. If you ask me, it doesn't make any sense to have AJ Styles and Shane McMahon fighting at WrestleMania. I think AJ Styles could really go a lot further fighting somebody, like another John Cena match or Dean Ambrose or any of the active wrestlers on the show. I don't see any reason for Shane McMahon and AJ Styles to be wrestling. That said, Shane McMahon is an awesome, talent in the ring. I don't know how he does it, but he's really good in the ring. AJ Styles, of course, as his name says, is phenomenal. He's an amazing athlete, amazing wrestler, and it should be a great match either way you go, whether I think it's a great idea or not. It'll be a great match, and the whole scheme of things, WrestleMania 33 is really shaping up to, as it says in Bobby Roode's um, theme song to be glorious. It's looking like another awesome WrestleMania shaping up, and I think the fans are really going to love it. Between the New Day hosting the Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles match, who knows what that could be leading to? Maybe it's a leading. Maybe they could do a storyline where AJ Styles leaves SmackDown and goes to Raw and joins up with his buddies over at the club. Who knows what could happen? But that said, Twitter and Facebook links will be in the description below. Thank you for watching every Tuesday, Thursday. New Wrestle vlogs coming at you. Have a nice day.